and gentlemen, my name is Brenda Mahlobo. Welcome back to my channel. It is an absolute honor that you decided to click on this content. You're giving me a chance to just want to see what is this video about? What is this channel about? What is this lady about? Thank you so much for stopping by. Please be encouraged to also hit the subscribe button. You're not going to pay anything for it whatsoever. It is absolutely free. Thank you so much. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to shoot straight to the main objective of this video. So I'm coming up here to give you an expenditure of my Cape Town trip. So I went away with my mother and my son. My son is 3 years old, and I decided to take the three of us to the vacation. So I just want to count financially. I want to just give you like a 95% accurate type of a budget in as far as accommodation, transport, etc. is concerned. So just to give you a little bit of background, I stay 290 kilometers away from the airport, which translates to like 4 hours 20 minutes in time. Okay, so I'm going to give you the exact amount for accommodation and the dynamics thereof. I'm going to give you transport. I'm also going to touch on meals, and I'm also going to touch on the spending money. So me staying 290 kilometers away from the airport basically mean I have this 4 hours drive to take, in comparison with somebody who stays 30 minutes, an hour away from the airport. I'm obviously going to spend more because I am far. So we went to the King Shaka International Airport, and because I already had gas on my car, but I just tried to work it out so that I gave you the estimate of how much I spent on gas. So I used 1,200 in South African rands, 1.2. And I'm also going to give you guys the amounts that I spent on the Uber. So how my notes are, there's like from the airport, there's like notes to the waterfront, there's like from, etc. And then I give you, in the end, I give you like, I round it off, then I calculate, I consolidate, and I give you the exact amount under the subtopic transport. Okay, so I've spent 1.2 from home to the King Shaka International Airport, and from Cape Town International Airport to now our accommodation was spent 450. We were using a cab company, and I'm even regretting because they had us waiting for quite some minutes and I was not having it. Only for us to spend 450. And the thinking behind this was just to get somebody more reliable, just get to the Cape Town International Airport and move straight to a car, have somebody waiting already, as compared to us getting there and then accessing our Uber app. So we spent 450 from the airport to the hotel. And the next day now, from the hotel to the waterfront, was spent 80 rands, just going to the waterfront. From the waterfront back to the hotel, it was 140. This fly is annoying me. And then the next day now, to the canal walk, was spent 80 rands going, and then again 140 rands going back. The differences here, and what I thought it was because coming back from the waterfront, or like let's just say canal walk, was a Friday, a peak hour, the times of change, and then the demand increased so as the fee. So, and then I gave you from the canal walk back to the hotel, which is an 80, which is 140. Then the last day traveling to the airport, we used another 80 rands because we had a morning flight. That gives us a total of 970 rands in total. That's like transportations inclusive of the gas that we filled up in our car. So let us discuss accommodation now. The hotel. We were staying at the Sun Square Hotels. It's in the Gardens area of Cape Town. It's just called the Gardens. That entire neighborhood, because there's even like the Gardens Shopping Center, then the Gardens Hotel. So was spent 400, 4,000, I'm saying 400, it's 4,750 in South African rands. Accommodation came only with breakfast. That basically meant we were going to spend on lunch. We were also going to spend on dinner. So I just, decided to have this as is, because I just wanted us to have a flexibility of, just trying out different cuisines. We're in Cape Town, just different restaurants altogether. So now coming back to the meals. So this accommodation, this 4,750 is just bed and breakfast. Okay. So the meals now. The first night we ordered from the hotel was spent 570 rands. So it's just me and my mom. Because if you think about it, our 3-year-old, could, easily eat from our meals. So we spent 570 the first night. And then lunch the next day, we were at the V&A waterfront and we ate Nando's. But then we also had ice cream later. So in total, it was 450 rands. 450 rands. So then moving on to dinner that day. That day was same thing happened. We ordered from the hotel. We spent 520. The differences between 570 and now 520, I think, was with the dessert because we had ordered the desserts the first night we got there and we didn't really enjoy much. And we because it was like larger portions, you sometimes don't even know like how to eat dessert after getting that feel, that full, excuse me. So now lunch the next day was spent 330 rands. We were at the Canal Walk and I think we had Burger King. Later that day, we spent 280 rands. We bought from this Asian restaurant. I think we had soup and then we had like a few dumplings and then their speciality, which was like a stir fry, vegetable stir fry, that is. So now, so we're pretty much done. I've covered both dinners and both lunches. So now this is the travel day. We're traveling back from Cape Town to the King Shaka International Airport. We got there and we took our car, but along the way we stopped. I gave it like a sub-heading of garage stop. We spent 140 rands. We just bought savories from their section. It was just pies, nothing much, and something to drink and, a bit of sweets. So the total meals are giving us a total of 2,390 rands. Okay, moving right along to now our spending money, which is also which is also a big one. So our spending money, you might have seen in the vlog, we went to Zara, we went to the Body Shop, we went to H&M. Now thinking about H&M, I do not remember seeing, can I reach for my phone? I don't remember seeing that expenditure from H&M, and I think I spent 400 for the gown and was like, just say we spend like over 650 and I don't have it here. So then I'll have to edit on this amount. And I'm going to do that quickly. Thinking about it, I don't remember, like I did not remember seeing anything from H&M. These are like Zara expenditures, Body Shop, Toy Kingdom, the works. So bear with me. Let me add this amount. 8. We're just going to give it 650, Okay. So now we have the new total. Excuse me. Okay. Spending money was a total of 6,068 rands. So 6,068 rands. Yeah. Again, if you want to know like what did we do with this much money, go back to the vlog. You're going to see a haul that I did there. Okay. Now we are back at the King Shaka International Airport coming from. Also, it's late. Let me show you the time. It's 10:30. It's 22:27. It's going for 10:30. So please excuse me. Now we are back at the King Shaka International Airport. That basically means we have to retrieve our car from the shaded parking, and our parking ticket was 341 rands. Because Pelangis, you left your car there for like all these days, and they like this amount is like an hourly rate, and then it calculates and it gave us a total of 341 rands. And I wasn't mad about it because it was the first time when I was a bit, anxious, thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna get there and it's gonna be 720, but I had some cash left. So that's the amount that we spent on parking. Oh, again, the big one, flight tickets. Okay, so I was using the system that we use at work called Travel IT. So they recently, not even recently, I think they like a year, like in a few months into them launching a leisure portal, but still within that platform, because we use that site to book for like work related trips. So, but then they added this leisure section to it, which makes my life so much easier. Because I remember the first time I was looking at flights, just going through flight tickets, searching from the internet. When as soon as you type this thing on the net, you get a lot of links. You get directed to a lot, even companies. There's travel companies who are doing all this administration for you so that you don't get to hop from airline to airline looking for accommodation and flights at a reasonable price. So I use Travel IT, the leisure portal, and I looked around, and then we bought tickets in total. It was 8,300. This is me rounding it off. It must have been 8,003, and 41 sixth and whatever. So 8,300 rands for flight tickets for the three of us. My son is 3 years old, as you have seen in the vlog. He had his own seat, which basically means it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's going to spend, he's going to get the same ticket as me. So now the type of flight tickets. I got an economy, but it was not just like an economy. It was a premium, still within the economy range flight tickets, but it was premium. I was not even aware, Uguti, there's such a thing as having like a premium, even if you're getting economy. So I just thought it's economy, business class, first class, etc. But to my surprise, let me tell you our flight tickets. We had 7 kg carry-on luggage, which means something that we can walk you know, in our plane with. The carry-on was 7 kg. And then for the bags that we were supposed to check in, we had 23 kg. We could have easily packed our sleeping blankets because, it was a good ticket. Another thing that was included on our tickets that I was not aware of its importance, but it is so vital: priority boarding. We had priority boarding. As I was doing this, I was not familiar with these terminologies. I'm going through it. The last time I flew, by the way, was back in 2018, when Mango Airlines was still doing domestic flights, was even still flying in South Africa, when the British Airways was still doing domestic flights. We still have the British Airways, but they're doing international flights only now. So that was like that long ago I last flew. But then again, for those, the administration was something that was done by somebody at work, a department at work. I was still working for this other organization before I joined Department of Community Safety and Liaison. So I never really got to understand what goes on when one is choosing flight tickets, etc. So now these terminologies were new to me. Like I'm like priority boarding. We had even a leeway to carry a special equipment. I remember just going through it thinking I can even pack my ring lights if I wanted. That was also stipulated like in cages, like how many cages you can have that equipment on. Or as, excuse me, I'm speaking so fast. So we had priority boarding, but because we were so late, you again go watch the vlog. We had that setback a little bit of the tire, but God being gracious, God being seated on a throne, we were able to make it on our flights. If you know it is so painful to miss your flight because number one, you might not get the same flights that particular day. That might mean you have to incur another accommodation. I've mentioned that I am, 290 kilometers away from the airport. That would have meant that we needed to book accommodation in Durban, then fly the next day. You get to forfeit a lot of money. If you're lucky, you get 20% being refunded back to your ticket or being sponsored, in your new ticket now. So you don't want that. You don't want to miss your flight. So it was priority boarding. It was 23 kg. So I was trying to say, and I was still saying, but because we were so late on our day of travel, we could not even explore what this priority boarding meant because I remember we just joined the longest queue and we stood there because we did not know what that gave us or offered us, what priority boarding offered us. But now coming back, we had the morning flight. It was at 11 and we got to the airport just slightly after 9. We had ample time and we were able to just pay more attention. We were front in line and I had them saying priority boarding. I even had that video if I can find it. I'm going to post the snippet here, me explaining, just showing this long line and us walking in saying we are actually on the same flight, but because we have priority boarding, we boarded first. So I highly recommend that, especially if you're going to be traveling with somebody in a wheelchair, somebody sick, traveling with your infant, traveling pregnant, even. Please pay for this convenience because it makes your life so much easier. Basically, mean you're going to go in there, sit first, and be able to load your luggage, phezulu kahle, usuhleli kahle. Unlike just, getting there and in your seat and then people already have stuff just, opposite your seat and whatever. So highly, highly recommend. Excuse me. So lastly, I wasn't even intending for this video to be this long. Lastly, I went back to do my tires. Remember, I told you that we went past Richards Bay to see my bay. So, but then one thing I said to myself, you know what, before driving back home, I'm gonna go get a new tire and a new spare. Cause oh my god, the way I was praying, thinking, oh my god, I wanna get there on time. Ish, I don't have water here. You'll have to forgive me. So I was like, not in this lifetime. So we dropped mom off. In case you're wondering, Uguti. Mm. We dropped mom off at church. My mom had church. Mm. Ugula Inosasel, same flight. Same, same flight. But priority boarding is through us. Asaba nangu 20 got DEF. Yay! Nancy baby. You boy a priority boarding. You boy a priority boarding. You boy a priority boarding. Is that really like? Excuse me, guys. Please forgive me for that last part. So I was still saying we dropped mom off at church. My mom had a church commitment that was going to start the same Thursday as our travel day, our traveling back day. So which made things easier for us because I was still trying to think about what is it that I'm gonna say because ngiyobona isithando sami ke mina shem nomntanami siyahamba nje siyobona isithando sethu. But then, because things work out, they work together for good for those that love the Lord and those who are called in His purpose. So then, my mom's church commitment was like literally 40 kilometers away or even less. Let's just say it was 19 kilometers away from um babe. So that made life easier because we dropped my mom first, and then we went to see Istanda Sethu Sunumdanam. So yeah, basically, yeah. So in a nutshell, I gave this amount, the total amount is 23,369. So that's like an overall. Mind you, I added that 600 rand in our spending money column. So this 23,369 plus 600 rands. So that is how much we spent in total. We had a great time. Again, another thing that I need to highlight. So now we're traveling with a minor, so we couldn't go to the wine farms, we couldn't go to like quite a number of places, and also I think the priority was not that for me. I just wanted to have access to the shops, while I'm still sightseeing and exploring what Cape Town is offering. So this would totally be different if I were to go with my man there, so it would totally be different because we had a 3-year-old, so we couldn't go to like a lot of places, and still it did not take away from the holiday itself and what I intended for it to be. Thank you so much for watching till the end. It is a pleasure that you clicked on this content, and let me wish you well. See you in my next video. Bye.